Well, yeah, so now the appeal is going to be heard. They've just issued a stay, but that's only temporary until the decision itself on the preliminary injunction is ruled upon by the appellate court. And we have an over 200-page magnificent decision, incredibly thorough by Judge Bum, with the other side completely failing to meet the standard of Bruin, which is to show history, text, or tradition, and the burden's on the state.
We got unlucky.
The burden's on the state. Exactly, because we're still in this transition period, but nonetheless, I mean, the thing about this, the best the state can do to somehow try to justify these laws, which still isn't even cutting it, is to rely on racist gun laws of the past, where blacks and other minorities and Catholics were prohibited from guns with bona fide, absolute, blatant racist laws. And they're saying, hey, we had racist gun laws in the past, and therefore that history, text, and tradition allows us to what? Have racist gun laws now? No. So you can see, and by the way, I can't wait for that to get to Justice Thomas.
Yeah,
that'll be great.
The new fee structure.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just outrageous.
Quick follow-up question. What's to stop Murphy from passing Carry Killer 2.0 after it's all done and drag us through another 2-3
Well,
years?
the thing is, raising the same issues.
We're trying to tweak it around, just, what's to stop playing games?
Well, what happens is, we initially got the TRO even without decision on the specific laws.
Yep.
Once we have a case law establishing a precedent, if it's tried again, we'll be in court, and it'll be, within that same day, it'll be enjoined completely.
It should go quicker.
Totally, right. So you can't, now I'm not saying they won't try to create other barriers, but basically what they've done is thrown the kitchen sink at us with this one, which is great, because you know what? You may as well do it now while we have a court so much on our side. Then wait till later when that dynamic might change, and they might even have a better shot. So good. And unfortunately, we pay the price right now, sort of, but many have sacrificed for rights, so we're sacrificing and nowhere near what others have sacrificed anyway. So you got to look at it in the big picture in that terms. Yes.
Firstly, thank you so much for coming out here and
My
educating
pleasure.
us. Can you explain a little bit about what you meant when someone's carrying in his vehicle? You said he needs a proper holster.
Correct.
What does that mean?
The holster must completely encase your frame and trigger guard. Okay, you can have the grip and all show. Has to securely maintain it in a position. Okay. It cannot. What it doesn't need though are straps. You don't need thumb brakes or straps. We did get rid of that, but it needs to cover the trigger guard, secure the firearm. That is the proper holster. That's what it takes.
Thank you. Someone hypothetically was carrying it in his pants. Just
No good. No good. You can't just throw a gun in your pocket, or at least that's going to be a whole legal issue. There's a pocket act, but it's not a holster. I mean, that's going to no pocket carry. Don't even use a pocket holster in your pocket. That's not a good idea. You really need a bona fide holster, and it can be inside the pants, outside the pants, and have it concealed by your shirt, your vest, something. Yes.
If I can perhaps clear up, the gentleman had confusion about so as to my mind. There are a lot of websites that said the Circuit Court of Appeals has overturned the stay of the lower court. I believe that was a mistake. I believe they meant to say overturned the injunction and granted a stay. That was on all the mainstream media, Politico, AP, so a bunch of places, so that might cause confusion.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, look, misinformation on the internet is the standard. So you need to have a really good, reliable source. U.S. Law Shield, Association of New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Clubs, and I will shamelessly plug my book right now because of this, not just to give you the information, but because of this feature right here. This is my favorite innovation for the 25th anniversary edition. You scan this QR code, it's 100% free. You then just join my subscriber base, and you're going to get free, and I'm not sending out anything else, by the way, just this stuff. Instant alerts for any changes in the law. You get access to the archive so that this book stays current all the time. So if you're a subscriber, you already got within 24 hours the explanation of what the court did. So as soon as it breaks, you're told so that you're up to date via this mechanism, and this is really working out great. So this is your base for the laws. It's, in case you're not familiar with it, it's 120 topics. It's all question and answer, explains everything. But any changes, you're getting immediate updates for free. So make sure you do that QR code, and that way you'll know from me what the story is. And you know I'm giving you the actual law, what the actual story is, and it's not some hearsay in the media from people that don't know what they're talking about. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, two quick questions. First, can you just clarify one more time the answer about the BYOB restaurant?
Yeah,
issue?
because it has to be where it's sold.
Sold,
So
okay.
BYO is not selling, so that's our distinguishing factors.
So that
Sold
would be
for
okay,
consumption, right,
Okay.
sold. But you
Okay,
cannot
okay.
imbibe or be under the influence personally
Okay.
in that situation.
My
Yeah,
second
yeah,
question-
well, let me just,
my
I'll
second-
get to.
My second question was,
Yeah.
as far as the carrying in your vehicle, I know on your podcast you talk about if you find yourself in a sensitive place and you have to lock your gun away in your
Right.
car. You said you can put it in a lockbox under your seat so it doesn't have to be locked away in your trunk, unloaded and all.
Right, well,
That's
there
separate from the
are a
animal.
number of options, but what I strongly advise is to do the following, because this is gonna give you the strongest, most obvious, complete protection. If you're carrying your gun and you have a carry, you should all have invested in a traveling car safe. They're less than $50, for a really good one even. They're steel and they have a cable and a lock. Some are code, some are key, whatever you prefer. The cable, you wrap it around the base of your car seat, you unload your gun, you lock it in that lock and slide that under the seat. The safe is now not in view. Your gun is unloaded, secured, as a responsible gun owner would do. You're protecting it from theft, and you're meeting the standard under the law. Why do we want to see, what's the least I have to do? No, that's not what we want. We want you to be absolutely solidly in with no one questioning it. So that's why I say just use that box and do it in that way.